In the first video of this series, we show how we got these hashes. We use the KB, the Kerberos TGT. We're going to use the administrator in this part of the attack. Again, in the video description, there is a link with a public box folder. Second page in it, you find a PDF where it's a lot easier to find the videos of this channel. Then it's a lot easier than searching in YouTube. Now, so we have a clean QRadar system. We also have ATA, Microsoft ATA on the domain controller clean here. And we're going to be doing actually two attacks. One is what is also called as overpass the hash, in which we are going to be doing the attack without asking for a actual Kerberos ticket as we did in the first attack. And then we're going to be doing a synchronization attack, which gives us a tremendous amount of data about what the domain controller is, and this synchronization is something that should only be done between approved domain controllers or approved machines. Let's go into the attack. So we start by running a command shell as an admin, and again, I've shown in other videos how you escalate privilege and you do all that, but I'm going to keep this video shorter. And again, this is active domain controller asking for permission for that. I'm going to grant that. That's the only way I can run with elevated privileges. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to be running Mimikatz. Instead of running it in Kali when we load Kiwi, we're actually going to run Mimikatz in here. And again, how we got this, there are multiple vectors of getting the person to trust and download these components. Once we have Mimikatz running, we're going to use this part of the hash that we got in the first attack for this one. If we issue this command in here, and then this one, which opens a second window. And let me actually show you the command, because you probably would have not been able to see it. So that's the actual command. The user is administrator, and I'm using that last part of the hash that I just showed you before. So that opens this second session. While I'm in here, let me actually paste the dir command to prove that I have access to everything in the domain controller. You see that works. And I have used a downgrade out of attack. I had forced the system to accept an old version of the RC4 encryption. So we have three offenses. These two are from the Sysmon package, even though I'm not getting Sysmon logs rather. That's another benefit of the Sysmon package. But this is the one that I want to actually analyze in the video. First, as usual, I like to show the rule, and this is the actual rules that detects that. So Windows event logs, and this is the type of encryption that denotes the usage of the old RC4. And actually, we can see it. One of these events should contain that. Yeah. Okay. And here are the details for that. Now let's actually go to ATA, which is the domain controller here. Notice that ATA has detected that attack. Let's actually clear this one, and I'm going to clear the offense in QRadar, and we're going to proceed with the synchronization part of the attack. So I'm going to close this one, and I'm going to close all the offenses in QReader as well. And we are going to, that excessive firewall denies is something else that I have here with my PSN's router. Now, let's actually proceed with the second part of the attack. So we are in the Windows client of the domain controller. We're going to go into the original session, and we're going to paste this command. And you can change the user, right? It doesn't have to be that. And notice that it has provided a great level of detail about the domain controller, and that shouldn't be something that anyone can do, right? It's actually, we can actually see in the background that ATA successfully catched that. Well, not yet. Maybe we need to give it a minute or so. If we go back to QReader, this is the rule that Mutaz modified to catch this one. It's one of the UBA rules. Let's actually display the rule. And this is basically is checking and say, well, unless you are one of the authorized machine that can synchronize data with the domain controller, this rule is going to detect when that happens. Let's actually go back to the domain, to ATA, which should by now should be able to catch that up. Let's actually reload the browser. After giving about 2 or 3 minutes to ATA to catch up, it definitely detected that replication and flags it as malicious one. And here's a link that Mutaz provided me where there's documentation on how is it that Active Directory allows operations to be performed on some of the objects, and you can get more details about this in here.